Thank you for joining the Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership Information Meeting. I'm Erin Andrade, Graduate Studies Enrollment Advisor.
I'm Amy Warner, and I'm an admissions recruiter for adult and graduate studies.
Today, Amy and I will show you a short presentation on how to write the personal statement. Part of the admissions requirements for the MAOL program is to submit a typed personal statement with your completed application. But what is a personal statement? Is it an admissions essay? How long does it need to be? What do you write about? These are questions we are frequently asked and the reason for our information meeting today. If you're interested in learning more about the online Masters of Arts in Organizational Leadership program, you can watch the information meeting we hosted last month. The video link is in the comments below. After today's presentation, we'll stay online to answer any questions you might have. Simply type a question into the comments and we'll answer it out loud. Although this is live, there is about a 30-second delay. We will answer questions as soon as we read them, but you may not hear our answer for another 30 seconds. Ready to start the presentation?
Ready.
Okay, we're going to share our screen.
Okay, so we're going to begin with how to rock the personal statement. In this presentation, you will learn what the personal statement is and what it is not. You'll see what it takes to rock the personal statement and also how to wreck it. We'll give you some writing tips and provide additional writing resources. We hope by the end of this presentation, you'll be ready to start crafting the perfect personal statement. If you do have any questions, be sure to stick around for the Q&A session afterwards. The personal statement is a paper that will help you explain to Graduate Admissions Committee why you should be selected for the master's program. It should be typed, 2 pages in length minimum, and it should outline your career objectives, personal interest in the program, how you believe the degree will help you achieve professional and personal goals, any personal challenges you may have in completing the program, and that's it.
So here's what the personal statement is not. It's not an admissions, academic, or professional essay in which you are given a prompt or a topic related to your program's field. The personal statement is about you, your goals, and how this program will help you succeed. It's also not an autobiography. While it is your story, it's not your whole life story. Summary about your dreams. It is not your resume, although you will write about your education and career experiences. You definitely want to highlight some of the strongest areas on your resume and be sure to address some of the weaker areas, especially if something could potentially affect your admission. It's not something you should stress out about, but it's not something that you should do half-heartedly either.
Great. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to rock the essay. The essay yourself, right from the heart. We want to know the real you. What's your best side? This can mean highlighting your accomplishments, but also admitting your weaknesses without making excuses. Own up to your talents and strengths and your faults. Maybe you take pride in being a hard worker. How can this also be a weakness? Perhaps you've worked yourself into the ground and it's caused your performance to suffer. What have you done or are you doing to to prevent that from happening again? If hard work has mostly led to success for you, show us and be sure examples to back up what you're saying. Keep it relevant. Make sure your examples give us insight to who you are and why we should accept you into the program. If you say you're a hard worker, make sure you tell us an example to show how your hard work has helped you to succeed at something and why that will make a difference in this program and in your career. Be clear and concise. In other words, get to the point. Get to the point. See how I did that? In a minute, we'll talk about trimming the fat so that your final paper will read crisp and clear. Rambling on and on about something in an attempt to make it 2 pages can result in it that's boring and confusing and give the impression that you don't know what you're talking about. How can you keep this from happening? Work from a plan. Good work has parts, a beginning, middle, and an end.
Parts, starting with the beginning. This is your introduction, the first 1 or 2 paragraphs of your paper. It's important to off strong and positive. Introduce your goals and how you think this program will help you achieve them. This is also your central idea, which is the unifying elements that holds the unifying elements of your story together in a fictional story, but this is your story, so you get the same principle, the theme that ties in your strengths and weaknesses, goals and accomplishments, into one clear and solid statement that says, I want to do this and this program will help me by. So be specific. Don't just say, I want to be an effective leader, because everyone will say that. What makes you stand out? This can be a position within your organization, an opportunity to lead your own team, or a whole new career. But we just want to know exactly why you want this program and how it's going to help you succeed. And be captivating. Sell us your story. Grab our attention right away so we'll want to keep reading.
That's great. So now we're going to talk about the middle of your essay. You've got our attention with a strong, captivating introduction. Don't lose it in the middle. We want to know how you got here. What happened in your life, career, education that brought you to the realization that you need a master's degree? Here's where your powerful and relevant examples come into play. Make sure everything you write somehow points to your central idea and ties your story into the reason why you want this degree. It's also a good idea to show off your knowledge of the field or program. Is there a current issue trending in your field? If it has anything to do with the reason you're wanting this degree, write about it objectively. Don't take a side, just show that you're up to speed. Show us you're aware of the program requirements. If you don't know anything about the courses you'll be taking, find out, then show us that you've done your homework. Your job is to convince us that this is the right degree program for you. Use what you know about the program to back your case. This is where you'll address any weaknesses or challenges you've had or anticipate. You'll want to avoid bringing these up in the beginning or the end. Examples of what issues you may need to address are any challenges you expect to face in the program, past issues such as low GPA, any relevant issues that could affect admission or your abilities to succeed in the program.
And finally, the end of your personal statement. You should restate your goals and how this program will help you achieve them. Bringing it all back to your central idea. Remind us of why you want to enroll in our program. End on a strong, positive note and leave a great impression. How to wreck it. So you've spent hours, or what seems like it, writing your personal statement. Now you need to take more time to make sure you've avoided these common mistakes that could lead the admissions committee to reject it.
Sloppy writing the committee to deny your admission, but it won't help if you've already exposed a weakness in other requirements. If your writing fails to demonstrate your ability to write at graduate level, you're not giving us a good reason to accept you into the program. Here's some steps you can take to make sure that your writing isn't sloppy. First of all, proofread. Secondly, read it out loud. Listen to make sure it makes sense. Does it flow or sound like random bits of information? Ask someone else to read it. You don't always see your own mistakes. Revise. Make corrections. Don't plagiarize. Use proper citations, and if you're quoting someone, make sure they really said what you're quoting.
Missing details. This is another reason, a common reason why some personal statements are considered sort of weak, and sometimes we even have to ask people to come back and rewrite it or add to it because they're missing important details. Make sure you covered all points that we went over in the first slide, and you can refer to the catalog, which can be found on our website if you're not sure, if you can't remember what it is that we're wanting to see in your paper. Give proper amount of attention to each area. So one whole page describing something traumatic that happened to you, even if it's relevant, even if it's the reason why you're applying to this program, but then only writing a sentence or two explaining your goals and plans, that isn't balanced. You aren't giving us a complete picture. Give explanations where needed. So again, low GPA, unmet admissions requirements. Don't leave out important details. Okay, So now we've told you the basic parts of a personal statement and what to do and what not to do. So let me give you some additional writing tips. Use active versus passive verbs. The more active your verbs and the more direct your sentences, the stronger your paper. You want to skip the words really and very, or just be careful that every other sentence doesn't say I'm really this and I want this very much. Avoid cliches, especially that, hey, I've always wanted to be cliche in the opening introduction. Try not to be redundant, which can just happen sometimes when you're trying to make the paper longer than it needs to and you're running out of things to say and you sort of just repeat yourself over and over. And make sure you do your homework. The more research you've done, the more you know about the program and what you want to do, the more you'll have to write. But remember that it's more important to focus on quality than it is quantity. We just want a really great paper versus a long paper that doesn't really tell us anything. If you're stuck, if you have writer's block, here's what to do when you're stuck in the middle of page 2. Just start. Just sit down and whatever is on your mind, just start writing. You can always save the introduction for last. If you're trying to come up with something really captivating and you just can't think of it, don't let it keep you from writing the paper. You can always come back to it later. Make an outline or a reverse outline, which is basically draft first, just getting it all out on paper, and then going back and you think the admissions committee would want to know about you, and then write the answer.
Okay, finally, we're going to give you some additional resources. Writing tools, 50 essential strategies for every writer. Lab, writing the personal statement, and there's a URL there that you can visit for some additional information.
Have any questions? You can contact us at any time if you have questions about the program or questions about any of the admissions requirements. And for now, we'll go ahead and answer any questions that we might have. Okay, I don't see any questions so far, but we'll just wait. We'll give it another minute or two, and if we don't have any questions, we'll just wrap it up. But you can continue to ask questions throughout the. We'll be here till 1 o'clock, so even when we're not recording live, you can just go ahead and type them in, and we will answer them for you. Okay, well, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in and we'll answer the questions in the comments. Have a great day.